Good morning, good morning, good morning. How y'all be this morning? Everybody doing all right out there this morning? Yeah, I know it's tough out there, y'all. Y'all know what it is. Big Ryan's today after the Texans. You know how we do it, y'all. Let me grab my bifocals and start this off like we're supposed to. And I don't feel like being started up, so we're going to stop our little music here. You want to eat out, but you don't know who to trust? You should find Houston First Mobile Brunch Bus. From catering to private dinners, from breakfast to lunch, the brunch bus delivers. So if it's good food you trust, well, it's still the brunch bus. Well, I'm sure some of y'all set up last night, watched the things that went on last night. Not feeling very good about your Texans this morning because 0-2 is never a good start. Matter of fact, I'm going to start with what 0-2 is. Since 1990, all the way to 2023, there have been 32 teams out of 279 to start 0-2 and make the playoffs. That's 11.5%. Not very large. But a glimmer of hope, two glimmers of hope. In 2023, the Texans started 0-2. Came back and won the division and won a playoff game. So there's no need to panic just yet. I'll get into later when you should start panicking, okay? Another carry out about being 0-2. There's been 3 teams in history to win a Super Bowl after starting 0-2. The 93 Cowgirls, which had the triplets. 2001 Patriots, who I feel like they stole the game from in the store from the Raiders, but it was 9-11 and all that good stuff and patriotic. You know what I mean? That's where I feel I'm going to never change that. And, of course, the 07 Giants. Now, the Giants more resemble the Texans. Only thing was, you couldn't run up the middle on the Giants neither. But they had 4 guys on the front. They never had to bring pressure. And that's what D'Amico's trying to do, which is not bad. But we found out yesterday, we got to do something about that middle. But I'll get to the defense in a minute. I want to start the offense. And I want to start with my boy CJ. CJ at times was holding the ball a little too long. I don't want to hear nobody crying about the offensive line because they pretty much back to where they was in camp with the exception of the center. You have Patterson playing center while the center hurt his ankle last week and went out. But CJ had time to throw picnics back there at times. You got to get rid of the ball. Now, the offensive line not handling the blitz. Well, when you only got 5 linemen and you sending 7 people, somebody's got to recognize what's going on and set up a hot route. I seen one route where the receivers was in route and CJ dropped back and they showed it from his point of view. Nobody's open. Send a hot route. You know they coming. And all night long, Tampa Bay blitzed the run. All night long, they was blitzing the run. And D'Amico didn't have much confidence in his line once they got down to the 1-yard line because he had CJ throw the ball twice. He didn't feel like you guys could get a push on the line. I know later on they opened up a hole for Chubb. Before Chubb broke that 25-yard run, he had 18 yards carrying because he was pecking for everything. They wasn't getting him nothing. You know what I mean? So, again, I'm going to go back to CJ. He didn't have much faith in the line, so he had CJ throwing the ball. CJ, miscommunication or a bad pass when Nico hit a double move on the right side and come to the back of the end zone, but the worst one was on 4th down. And all he has to do is loaf that ball to the back pylon and let Nico go get it. Nobody else could get it. You know, so then that's when questions would come in about he should have took the 3. And even if he took the 3, he knew what was happening. You know, a 3 wasn't going to help you. The touchdown gave you the lead. 3, you'd have still been down by 1. I know your defense stopped and you got a chance to get another 3. But we didn't know that at that time. And other than the first 4 plays until the last drive, we thought we were safe. You know. But the run blitzing all night, that stopped the running game from going. So they did that to make CJ have to throw the ball. Well, CJ made some bad decisions along the way. And really we got lucky because he threw one right in Tampa Bay's hand under pressure. There's nobody there but 3 linemen. That lets you know pressure is on you right there when you do stuff like that. You're still human. You can be professional all you want to. And too many hits, too much pressure, make you bust a pipe. And he threw it right into a Tampa Bay defender's hand. He just didn't catch it. So all night, CJ either held the ball too long or he made some errant throws. You know what I mean? And we got to hold him accountable for that because usually they be saying the line. Well, the line is pretty much back to what it was in camp. Like I said again, except the center. So when are we going to start holding CJ accountable for throwing the ball here and throwing weird passes and almost giving the game away? Because it wasn't, other than when they blinched, the O-line held up great. Now, when they blitzing, I'm going to put that on this new guy, Nick Carly, whatever his name is. Where's Bobby Slovic? I told y'all. Everybody wanted to overreact on Bobby Slovic about one season when y'all still did the same thing you did in the first season. So why go get another first-time coordinator? See, if you're going to go get another coordinator, it's time to get away from the first-time play callers. Go get you one of these seasoned veterans that's calling plays and been in this league for a while. Because at times, that boy looked lost. You know, he looked at loss over there, and he going against Todd Bowles directly because Todd Bowles is calling Tampa Bay defense. If you look over to the sideline, Todd Bowles is calling the defense like this. And Nick Carly is calling his offense like this and getting out-coached the entire game. And you know, we talking about Todd Bowles, been a coach in this league before, outstanding defensive coach. That's what he's known for. You know, he was on the staff when D'Amico was on the team in Philadelphia. So that's what he's known for. So, but I still say, and I want to say this again, I think people overreacted on Bobby Slovic. I don't think Bobby was that bad. I think when you're not blocking worth or nothing, you put Bobby back on this team with the better blocking that we have now, you'll see better results. This guy tries to run up there between the tackles. To me, that's why Bobby got in trouble that last year, trying to run up between the tackles. So I'm not overly excited about this new coordinator like everybody else is, you know what I'm saying? But the O-line held up pretty good. Only the Blintz was getting them. And I blame the coaching, the offensive coordinator, the line coach, and CJ for not recognizing, hey, here they come. I need a hot route. You know what I'm saying? They need to work on that because, like I said, I'm not going to panic just yet. You know, and also I said about Nick Chubb. We got 50% of Nick Chubb. We doing all right. Nick is still a serviceable back. He just needs some blocking. He showed you that on 25-yard run. He can get it done. And like I say again, you know, people are going to say, hey, why he didn't take the 3? Well, you're trying to win the game. And as you can see by the touchdown that Tampa scored, you see why he was going for the 2 after we did score the touchdown. Because really and truly, you do that thinking they got to get a touchdown to beat us anyway. If we take the extra point, touchdown got to beat us. If we don't take the extra point and we don't make the 2, they still got to score a touchdown. We're not thinking that they're going to go down the field and score a touchdown on us. That was one of the times when the defense would do what I call bend. You know what I mean? But I was impressed, like, you know, last year, both of those teams last year led the league in scoring on the first drive. And the Texans was able to do that yesterday after not scoring a touchdown period last week. You know, they put a couple of them up there. Could have been more. We're going to have to learn to fix that. Like I say, there's no panicking in me yet, but I tell you what, 0-2 is not a good start. And if you're not careful, you're going down here to play a Jacksonville team that has something to prove. And it's a division game. You're already down 0-2 in the loss column, but in the division, you got a chance to redeem yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And to the defense, you cannot be a top-notch defense and give up 169 yards on the ground. Just can't be. I don't care what the paper write about you. I don't care what the news say about you. I don't care what the other media say about you. You can't be a number 1 defense in the NFL and giving up 169 yards on the ground. And you turn it around and give away 191 in through the air. So that's 360 yards. Not bad for some teams, but with the team and the defense that we have, that's not good. We're not supposed to give up that many yards. I bet they didn't give us that many yards. I think we had like 84 passing, 1 something there. So that they played more like the better defense than we were. So, and I'm not knocking my defense. I also think Algier, 00, who missed the interception. but he was showing you how good he is in coverage. You see right away when he got hurt and Christian Harrison came in, they tried to run the ball. See, Harrison more of a heat-seeking missile. He fills those holes better on the running game. Algier is more of a cover corner. And I don't like the fact that Henry Tutu starting in front of nobody. I don't think he should be starting in front of Harris, and I don't think he should be starting in front of Speed, but I'm not the coach. Tutu is okay, but Tutu is prone for missing tackles. Give you 2 occasions last night. You got Baker Mayfield dead to the right. He meets him in the hole. Mayfield is not a shifty guy. How do you miss Mayfield right there in the hole? And Mayfield run for I don't know how many yards for Gardner tripping or chopping down. Another play. They catch the ball. Instead of him hitting and wrapping up, he hitting the receiver, knocking him forward. They teach him Little League hit and wrap up. So, no, I think they got to do something about him. He makes some good plays, too, but he makes some bonehead plays sometimes. And any player in the NFL is hitting and not wrapping up unless you use a knockout artist. Jack Tatum, Ronnie Lott, Atwater, somebody like that that's going to come and knock you and put you to sleep. You need to hit and wrap up. Until you do that, And all night long, they was able to run up the gut on us. See, the Texans defense is built to have a lead and to put pressure on you, meaning you got to drop back and pass and you got to deal with those DNs. Well, I think Tampa Bay held their own pretty good against them without leaving them one-on-one out there, and Texans still did over 4 sacks. But we gave up 3 sacks, but our sacks was given up on blitzes. They never really just beat our line and came and got us like that. Well, they beat our line that was down on the goal line when I looked like every lineman we had turned sideways instead of going straight, so. And then they recovered. I give them that. They gave up 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. Then they went 8 possessions in a row where they had 8 stops, 8 punts. They forced 8 punts. At some point, we got to do more on the offensive end to help them. We're struggling to put up points. We're struggling to finish drives. We get in the red zone shooting ourselves in the foot and things of that nature. We've got to do better than that. If we're going to bounce back and have any chance, because Jacksonville is no pushover where we're going. It's just no pushover where we're going. I just hate to tell you, it's a division game. So they could be the sorriest team in the league, but when they play in a division against a division foe, it's a tough game. It's a tough game, y'all. So I know my people are going to get up. They're going to see this, and they're going to understand 0-2 is not a good thing. Again, I say, there's been 279 teams to start 0-2. Only 32 of them have rebounded to make the playoffs. So that's 11.5%. 2 things to remember, Texan fans. In 2023, we started 0-2. Came back, won the division, won a playoff game. There were 3 teams that started 0-2 and won a Super Bowl. Again, I say the triplets with the 93 Cowgirls, the Patriots in 01, and of course the 07 Giants. And nobody was shocked by them winning, even though they finished the season 9-7. They had a front line the defense was championship. And that front line, the front 4, they never had to send a blitz. 5 men couldn't block their 4 men. It just is what it is. Now, the Texans defense resembles that, but you can't get gassed up the middle like they did last night. And it was different backs. It wasn't the same back. They were bringing different guys in and running right up the hole on us. Again, I say you cannot give up 169 yards rushing. And I think Baker might have had 40 of them himself, because he would catch us with our back turn playing defense, and he being got by the initial blitz and missed tackles, and he breaking. And he not even that fast, y'all. You know what I mean? Hey, niece, what's up, baby? My niece on here. But yeah, listen, y'all. There has to be some improvements everywhere, because this team is too stacked. And listen, we're going to say, well, we ain't got all our players. We injured. Mixon not playing. CJ, the guy we got from Jacksonville not playing. Nobody cares about when you got injured. I'm going to let you know that right now. Ain't nobody feeling sorry for you unless you're on your own team. Nobody feeling sorry. You think Pittsburgh and Baltimore feeling sorry for Cincinnati? Hell no. You think the Giants and the Cowboys feeling sorry for Washington? No. For what? You think Buffalo and them feeling sorry for the Jets because they quarterback in concussion protocol? No.